present is theirs. The future for which I really worked is mine. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Be alone. That is the secret of invention. Be alone. That is when ideas are born. I don't care that they stole my idea. I care that they don't have any of their own. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous. Subscribe. Listen. Get better. Centuries of its existence. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. When they separate, man is no more. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. If your hate could be turned into electricity, it would light up the whole world. The scientists of today think deeply instead of clearly. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Of all things, I liked books best. Intelligent people tend to have fewer friends. The smarter you are, the more selective you become. Antisocial behavior is a trait of intelligence in a world full of conformists. Great moments are born, great opportunity. Instinct is something which transcends knowledge. We have, undoubtedly, certain finer fibers that enable us to perceive truths when logical deduction or any other willful effort of the brain is futile. Most persons are so absorbed in the contemplation of the outside world that they are wholly oblivious to what is passing on within themselves. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment and merging of races. My method is different. I do not rush into actual work. When I get an idea, I start at once building it up in my imagination. I could only achieve success in my life through self-discipline, and I applied it until my wish and my will became one. There is no energy in matter other than that received from the environment. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe. The mind is sharper and keener in seclusion and uninterrupted solitude. Originality thrives in seclusion, free of outside influences. Every living being is an engine geared to the wheelwork of the universe. Though seemingly affected only by its immediate surroundings, the sphere of external influence extends to infinite distance. To know each other, we must reach beyond the sphere of our sense perceptions. The spread of civilization may be likened to a fire. First, a feeble spark, next a flickering flame, then a mighty blaze, ever increasing in speed and power. Life is and will ever remain an equation incapable of solution, but it contains certain known factors. Most certainly, some planets are not inhabited, but others are, and among these there must exist life under all conditions and phases of development. It's not the love you make, it's the love you give. My belief is firm in a law of compensation. The true rewards are ever in proportion to the labor and sacrifices made. Invention is the most important product of man's creative brain. The ultimate purpose is the Subscribe. Listen. Get better. Complete mastery of mind over the material world. The harnessing of human nature to human needs. What one man calls God, another calls the laws of physics. If we use fuel to get our power, we are living on our capital and exhausting it rapidly. This method is barbarous and wantonly wasteful. All people everywhere should have free energy sources. If we only used the power of our imagination more, we would become creators instead of mere followers. We crave for new sensations but soon become indifferent to them. The wonders of yesterday are today common occurrences. It is not in the shallow physical imitation of men that women will assert first their equality and later their superiority, but in the awakening of the intellect of women. There is something within me that might be illusion, as it is often the case with young delighted people. But if I would be fortunate to achieve some of my ideals, it would be on the benefit of the whole of humankind. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed, only to emerge all the more powerfully, all the more triumphantly from the struggle. There is no conflict between the ideal of religion and the ideal of science, but science is opposed to theological dogmas because science is founded on fact. As I review the events of my past life, I realize how subtle are the influences that shape our destinies. If we want to reduce poverty and misery, if we want to give every deserving person the opportunity to have a good life, we should strive to perfect machines. I do not think there is any thrill that can go through the human heart like that felt by the inventor as he sees some creation of the brain unfolding to success. There is no energy in matter other than that received from the environment. I have observed through life that the man who is not afraid of being ridiculed usually succeeds. The spread of civilization may be likened to a fire. First, a feeble spark, next a flickering flame, then a mighty blaze, ever increasing in speed and power. I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men. Though free to think and act, we are held together, like the stars in the firmament, with ties inseparable. These ties cannot be seen, but we can feel them. Subscribe. Listen. Get better. Subscribe.